Children are considered the embodiment of innocence and purity. Known for being honest and simple, children bring joy, laughter, and hope into a dark world. What happens when a young child shatters that illusion by becoming a killer? Poverty-ridden villages in India have very little joy and hope. The parents toil all day under the hot sun, usually in poor-paying jobs. They make barely enough to feed their families, but they work hard for their children. Children who play, smile, laugh, and brighten up the village evenings with their games. Are children who kill a byproduct of poverty and neglect? What pathologies are at play that make an innocent child into a cold-blooded murderer? In today's bite-sized crime episode, come with us to India, where a child from Musahar in Bihar earned the title the world's youngest serial killer. Is there more than meets the eye in the case of a horrifying triple murder committed by an 8-year-old? What should be done to criminals this young who lack remorse and empathy? Where is Amarjeet Sada, and is it likely that he will commit the same brutal crimes again? Amarjeet Sada's desire to wreak havoc and commit heinous murders manifested itself quite early. His first victim was his infant paternal cousin. In Musahar, it wasn't customary for neighbors to interfere in each other's personal affairs. Most of the village was related to each other and formed a tight community. Eyebrows were raised when two girls closely related to Amarjeet went missing, Amarjeet's younger sister and his infant paternal cousin. As is customary in Indian households, Amar's paternal aunt dropped off her young child at the house of his brother, Amar's father. Amar and his family were to care for the child while the mother worked a job in the city. Amarjeet, then 6, was left alone with his baby sister and infant cousin while his aunt went to the local market to buy food. When she returned, a parent's worst nightmare had come true. The child was dead. The cover-up of the crimes is what is deeply perplexing. Amarjeet, the seemingly innocent young boy, reportedly confessed to his mother that he pinched and slapped his baby cousin and enjoyed doing so. When that didn't suffice, he carried the baby outside and strangled her with his bare hands, burying her in some nearby grass. Amarjeet's father was a daily wage laborer who understandably didn't want to turn his young child into the police. Amar got a severe thrashing, and the aunt was told a concocted version of the events. However, his crimes were far from over. Villagers felt disturbed when the Sada family's 8-month-old daughter seemingly vanished into thin air. It was later found that Amar had strangled the baby in her sleep with his parents in the same house. What possessed a child to commit such horrific acts continues to elude whoever reads his story. His mother woke to feed the baby and found her dead. Her son, then 6, told her what he had done. However, authorities wouldn't get involved, and the cover-up remained under wraps until 2 years later. The curtain was going to finally lift from the odd Sada family matters. The incident that would shock the world of true crime occurred in 2007 when Amar was 8. A local woman left her 6-month-old daughter Khushbu at the village primary school to run errands. When she went, her baby was peacefully sleeping. Upon her return, the baby was nowhere to be found. The hysterical mother ran through the village talking to everyone she came across. She demanded news of her baby. Then, the Sada family indicated that they might know who had a hand in the baby's disappearance. A crowd of villagers, the hysterical mother, and the police were led to an area where many young children were playing. The family of Amarjeet called him away from the children, and they asked him if he knew anything about Khushbu's whereabouts. The 8-year-old smiled and told police he would tell them everything in return for a packet of biscuits. What the police then heard from this child's mouth horrified them. Smiling and unfazed, Amarjeet told police that he had taken the baby girl from the school and taken her to an isolated spot. When he was choking her, he said the baby didn't give him a satisfactory reaction. Chillingly, he confessed to police that he picked up a nearby brick and bashed the poor child until she was dead. His behavior through this confession was calm. He agreed to lead police to where he had buried the infant. Sure enough, a horrific sight met their eyes: the mangled body of the 6-month-old in a shallow grave. He also told police he had murdered before, providing details of his cousin and sister's murder. Inspector Shatrudhan Kumar revealed details of the horrific crimes to the media and the public. The name Amarjeet means forever victorious. Amarjeet Sada, however, didn't enjoy many victories on the serial killing front. He was promptly arrested after his shocking confession and became a person of interest for leading criminologists in the world. Amar's actions and demeanor during the investigation were also horrifying. The youngest serial killer ever smiled a lot when in custody but did not say much. The case caused a media frenzy in India and continues to attract the attention of true crime enthusiasts and child psychologists. Amar wasn't as happy or excitable a child as the other kids in the village. He usually kept to himself, climbing trees and wandering around the village. He was, however, violent. He would talk back to adults and sometimes get into physical fights. However, what possessed him to commit such horrific murders in cold blood remains open to speculation. Psychiatrists who observed the youngest serial killer in the world theorized that he had psychopathy and personality disorders. On all his victims who were younger than him, he wanted to assert dominance. He would enjoy poking and prodding them, and prolonging their torture would make him happy. His behavior in custody was also very odd. He didn't seem to think he did anything wrong. He smiled constantly as he told police officers the details of his horrific crimes. He readily gave up information on how he had killed his 3 victims. He seemed to lack any feeling or empathy. Many people find it disingenuous to blame his poverty for his violent tendencies. Notably, he didn't have access to television or radio where he could find out about the world of crime and be influenced. Amarjeet Sada, therefore, represents a chilling yet unique case of child criminal pathology. While all these theories are unproven, the unusual profile of the murderer caused speculation on the internet. Many people in India are of the opinion that such a young child could not have acted alone. They theorize that his confession to the crimes was influenced by an adult in Amar's life who had likely promised him money or food in return for lying. His accomplice, if there is any, was never caught or charged with the crime. Many others also say that the culture of female infanticide in poorer regions of India likely has something to do with these murders. Girls are considered a burden in poor families and are killed in infancy. Netizens theorize that an adult probably killed the young girls and framed Amar for the crimes. However, all these theories are unverified. India's juvenile delinquency laws mandate that no child under 16 can be convicted of violent crimes or sent to prison. Juvenile offenders such as Amarjeet Sada are imprisoned in a children's home until they are 18. As per various reports, Amar was placed in a home in the town of Munger, from which he was released when he turned 16. He is around 25 years old as of 2023, and his current whereabouts remain unknown. Many people have expressed their discomfort with knowing that a child that committed such violent crimes is under the radar. People are scared that he will commit those same crimes as an adult, this time eluding capture because of his increased intelligence. Amar's case begs the question, are people truly born evil? And if children, the image of innocence and purity, become cold-blooded murderers, what are we to do as a society?